will present you a mini album, and after this presentation I will show you how to realize it. So here is the cover. I didn't decorate it because I wanted to show you mostly the album structure. You are free to decorate as you wish. This mini album is about 6 inches and contains 6 pages. To realize this album, you need 11 sheets of paper about 12 inches. I chose 9 printed sheets and 2 cardstock to make a contrast. So let's start with the binding. We need a piece of sheet of 12 inches by about 6 inches. I drew a line at 1 inch 3/16 from the side and another one to 0 inch 3/4 and so on. The last line is at 5 inches 7/8 from the border. I drew the lines to fold easier the paper. We will make an accordion with this paper. Let me show you. I'll take my scoring board. I place my paper on the right level on my scoring tool. We made the folds and now we are going to form the accordion. I start to fold at 1 inch 3/16, then 3/4 further, then the opposite fold, 3/16 further again and again. So we have the accordion done. We've got 6 peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will receive 6 pages. The 1 inch 3/16 left on each side will allow us to fix the binding to the cover. For the moment we are going to leave our accordion, but we will need it again a little bit later. So for the first page, I took a sheet of 12 inches by 12. I cut a quarter of this sheet, that is to say a square of 6 inch by 6 to make a flap. To do so, at 6 inches, I will fold my sheet. You can use a scoring board or fold it directly as you prefer. As for me, I use my scoring tool to fold here. I do it again on the other side. Actually, we divided the sheet into 4 quarters and we cut 1. I fold my paper 1 time and then a second time. Here we are. This way I will put my page on the first peak of my accordion and I will glue it like that. I will have my first page and my first flip. As I have a white side here, I will glue a piece of paper because I don't want my flip to stay white. Furthermore, according to your flip's length, you can make it shorter by cutting it. Then, as I didn't want my flap to cover all my page, I cut it at 4.5 inches length. And as you may have noticed, I glued it with a piece of paper as I didn't want it to stay white. Here it is. I shut my page and now I will glue the page to the accordion. I'm going to place my page on the accordion. First, I will put double-sided tape on each side of the first peak of the accordion. Please don't hesitate to put a lot of adhesive tape because the binding is one of the parts most tasted. Well, I put double-sided tape on both sides. And in fact, we will proceed the same way for all pages. So in fact, we can do it for all pages in advance. We can do it in advance with tape. You can also proceed with glue, but it is a little bit more complicated. You will need pliers to fix it. So once I put the tape on the accordion, I will put tape on my page on the opposite side of the binding. We've got the binding side and the opposite side outside. So I will put tape on that side. This time I use very large tape, but you can use any tape you've got. It will be okay. Now the large tape is on, so I will glue my page on the accordion. So I remove the tape protection. It's not that easy. I take my page, I open it, and I place it right close to the border, like that. And then again I remove the tape protection. I also remove the protection of the large tape. And now I can close my page as a sandwich with the accordion peaks between the page's two sides. Here we have our first page. I flatten all the stuff. So you can see the first page. Now we're going to work with the second page. This second page has a pocket on the top, and on the other side there is a flap which comes from the bottom of the page to the top. We need a new page of 12 inches by 12, and one more time we divide it into 4 squares of 6 inches by 6, and we cut 1 square here. Once again, I fold the squares, one on each other. You can use the scoring board if you want, as I did before. Here we've got the second page that I'm going to place here in the accordion. And we've got the flap which comes here like that. Here I will stick a paper to hide the white part, and I will cut a little part of the flap because I don't like when the flap hides the entire page. So I covered the flap with paper, and here is the page, like this. Well, now I can place it to the accordion, but just before, I'd like to make a pocket here on the other side. For the pocket, I took a paper of 6 inches 3/4 wide. I will fold it at 3/8 at each side. The eighth of the paper is 4 inches 3/4 that I will fold also at 3/8 from the bottom to form a pocket. Well, let me show you. I cut here the angles. Okay. I will fold. I will score my paper with the board. Okay, it is done. So you've got two possibilities. The one, you stick the pocket with double-sided tape, or the second, you use glue. I will use tape to do it faster. So I've put tape, and now I can stick the pocket directly on the page. Well, I must check that my page is on the right side. Here we've got a big pocket. Inside you will have to insert a card on which you may stick photos. Here is the page that I will just place after the first one. This way. I'm going to use the large tape here inside, and I'm going to place the page here. I'm going to place my second page here. There is already double-sided tape, so I can stick the page. Sorry if you can't see very well, but in fact the operation is a little bit delicate. First side done. I remove the tape protection for this side too. And I shut down the paper. Here is the flap. And here is the pocket. So here the first page, the second one, and let's go for the third one. For the third page, I need a piece of paper of 12 inches wide and 6 inches high. I fold it in the middle and I made 2 notches. I made the 2 notches once the paper folded. I took a die, a round die, that I placed this way, and I passed them in the machine to obtain the notches at the right place. And now I will stick the page to the accordion, and I will stick only the bottom of the page as well as the edge of the page to the accordion like a sandwich. This way I will obtain a pocket in which will take place a card to which I will stick a circle of paper which will correspond to the notch. I will show you the card after a while. Here we are, the third page is sticked, and the page is also a pocket where you can put a card inside. Now let's prepare the fourth page. We are going to have a double flap. Inside of one which goes from down to the top, we will have 2 overlapping flaps which are going up and down. So we start with the same process as the first 3 ones. So one more time, we need a sheet of 12 inches by 12 that we divide in 4 quarters of 6 inches by 6. We cut 1. Afterward, as before, we fold them like this and like this, and one more time we will have the page and we will have the flap which goes up and down. But as always, I don't like this flap which covers all the page, so I cut it a little. So for the fourth page, I shortened the flap I made it 4 inches long. Now I will place the double flap. I want to say the second flap. In fact, I should have chosen a paper with only one color. It would have been nicer. I take a 12 inches wide and 5.5 high paper, but what we need is 4 inches 3/4 high. Well, in fact, we need 4 inches 3/4 high for half the paper, and we need a little bit more for the second half, for an additional strip. Here, at the middle, I fold the paper in 2 parts, just like that. In fact, I fold it in 2 parts because one side of my sheet is white. If you have a printed paper on both sides, you don't need to fold it. You just need a piece of paper of 6 inches by 5.5. Well, I fold it here, and off camera I will stick it. Here I fold it that way, and I will stick it just down the flap. I will also stick this above. This way we will have the double flap. And for gifted people, before sticking it all, you can put magnets between the 2 papers inside. You will have the click click and the flaps will stay closed when you close the album. Off camera I will stick it all and I come back to show you. So I glued the second flap. And now I will stick the 4th page to the accordion. As I usually do, it is to say that I make a sandwich with the paper and the accordion. Here is the 4th page, attached to the accordion. And the vertical double flap. Now we will realize the 5th page. The 5th page looks like very much the first one. We will do again a page following the same process with a flap that opens like this, but instead of having it open this way, we will have it open the other side. So let's take another sheet of 12 inches by 12. We divide it into 4 squares. We draw 4 squares of 6 inches by 6 each one. We cut 1 to get rid of it. And here there was a square of each inch 6 inches by 6, but I cut it at 3/1/8 because, as you know, I don't like my flap covering my entire page. So I fold. Okay, and here I fold the flap. Oops, it is not very painstaking. Well, and as I don't have a printed sheet on both sides, so I will put that here. It suits well here. Afterward, one more time, I can attach the page to the accordion like that, sandwiching the accordion with my page. Well, the flap is ready. So normally I fold like that, and I have the flap in this direction, but I'd like to add something on this side to decorate because it's like something's missing. I'd like to add a pocket here, just a little one here below. I took a piece of sheet. It is 6 inches 11/16 wide. There is 2 strips of 3/8 on both sides, and how much I didn't note it down. It must be 2 inches more a strip of 3/8. So we proceed the same way than before. I cut the angles and I fold. I will use my scoring board because I didn't use it before, and the result was not very nice. Here is the pocket. I put double-sided tape on the strips. I remove the tape protection to stick the pocket on the page. So here we are. I check everything. Here is the bottom. So I will stick it here. I turn the page because I can't see very well what I'm doing. Well done, I think it's bad. Now it is better. You can take a tool to help you. And now I will stick the page to the accordion. You can see the fifth page, stick it to the accordion. And here the flap. Now we have to realize the last page. For the last page, we need a piece of sheet of 12 inches by 6. Like always, we fold it in the middle. Okay. The flap comes here, and we will add two little pages, or better, two little flaps, but they will close inside. To realize the little flaps, the double flaps that I want to insert inside, so we will take a new piece of sheet of 6 inches high, and here it is 4 inches 3/4 wide, more a strip of 3/4. It is to say a total of 5 inches and a half. I folded at 3/4. Well, I have already glued my blue paper behind. We take a second piece of paper of 3 inches and a half plus 3/4 for the strip, a total of 4 inches 5/16. So we will fold the strip and we will obtain 2 pages like that. So here, thanks to the strip, I will glue one strip on the other, and then I will glue here my page. This way, once glued, I can sandwich the accordion with the page. Here we have the 2 little pages that had been added. If I open the page, you can see that they had been glued. And now I will glue the page to the accordion, and all the pages would have been glued and finished. Here we are. Let's see the 6 pages. And now let's prepare the cover. For the cover, I will use 2 squares of cardboard of 6 inches 1/8 by 6 inches 1/8. So I will show you how to proceed with 1 square of cardboard, but you will have to do the same with the second square. I also take a square of paper of 7 inches and a quarter by 7 inches and a quarter to cover the cardboard. So I'm going to glue the paper on the cardboard. To do so, you can use a very large double-sided tape, or you can use glue like Taiki glue or a special glue for binding. Here we are. I glued the paper on the cardboard and I cut the angles. I centered the cardboard on the paper square. Now I take a bone folder to fold down the paper strips on the sides. Afterward, I will glue them on the cardboard. The 4 sides. Oops. And then here. I will glue them too. It is nearly the end of the video. That is the reason why my movements are not so accurate. Like that. And the last edge. I will glue the strips on the cardboard with double-sided tape or strong glue. Here is the paper glue on the cardboard. The inside, the outside, the second one. So now you need a ribbon. You need more or less 30 inches of ribbon. Fold it into 2 equal parts to find the middle of the ribbon. We will glue the ribbon on the cardboard, inside, like this. We check the orientation of the cover. To my part, I'd like the cover being in this direction. This will be the front cover. So I will glue the ribbon here at 1/2 of the cardboard. So I glue the ribbon. There is a long part to the side of the cover and a little part to the other side. Now let's take the accordion with all the pages and we glue the 1 inch 3/16 strip here at the edge of the album and center it. I already put some double-sided tape. I remove the protection and I place it meticulously in the right place at 1/2 on the cover. Here we are. That's it. And now here I will glue a paper to hide the misery, as we say in French. The paper is glued, so we have the front cover done. Now we will realize the back cover. We have to glue the ribbon on the 1 inch 1/8 strip. We mustn't pull too much the ribbon, but nevertheless we must pull it a little bit on the accordion. And now I take the second cover and I'm going to glue the cover to the strip just at the edge here, just like I did before with the front cover. The back cover is glued thanks to the strip and I'm going to glue the ribbon all the back cover long. At last, I will glue a square of paper of 6 inches by 6 inches. I will take it the other way. Sorry, I'm turning the album one more time. Well, I must hide all the glued papers. Here we are. The album is done. We just have to finish with a nice knot and by cutting the ribbon at the good length. Now let's decorate this album according to your inspiration. To my part, I say you goodbye and sorry for my poor English and my poor accent. I will try to improve for next time. Bye bye and take care.